So you're thinking about investing in Nigerian real estate. It's an exciting market, but there's one document that can literally make or break your entire deal. And in this explainer, we're going to break it all down: the Certificate of Occupancy.
You've probably heard it, right? The opportunities in the Nigerian property market are huge, but let's be real, it's a high-stakes game. To play and win, you have to know the rules, and that all starts with understanding the single most critical piece of paper you'll encounter.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Your entire investment can live or die based on this one document. If you get it right, you're on solid ground. But if you get it wrong, you could lose everything. And that document is the Certificate of Occupancy, or as you'll hear everyone call it, the C of O.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to cover what a C of O actually is. Then we'll dive into why it's so incredibly important for your investment. After that, we'll talk about the hidden risks that can trip up even savvy investors. And finally, we'll wrap up with a clear, step-by-step action plan to keep you safe.
Okay, first things first, let's really nail down why the Certificate of Occupancy is the absolute centerpiece of any serious property deal in Nigeria. You can think of it as the foundation that everything else, your building, your financing, your security, is built upon. Now, this legal quote is the key to the whole puzzle. It basically says that you're not buying land in the way you might think of it in other countries. The state governor technically holds all the land in trust for the people. So what you're actually getting isn't ownership of the land itself, but the right to use it. It's a subtle but crucial difference.
So if the state is the ultimate landlord, what does this Certificate of Occupancy actually give you? What are your rights? Let's get a really clear, precise definition.
You see, the key words there are right to occupy and use. A C of O is not a deed of absolute ownership. A better way to think about it is like this. It's the official, government-stamped permission slip that proves you have the legal right to be on that land and use it for a specific purpose.
And that permission slip, it has an expiration date. It isn't forever. Typically, this right of occupancy is granted for a term of 99 years. So what you have is essentially a very, very long-term lease from the state.
This chart just spells it out perfectly. On the left, you have the right of occupancy that comes with a C of O. It's granted by the state, it's a lease, and it comes with conditions. It can even be revoked. That's a totally different world from absolute ownership on the right, which is forever and comes with complete control.
Okay, so now we know what it is, but why should you as an investor care so much? Why is having a valid C of O what we're calling the golden ticket? Well, let's get into the massive advantages it gives you.
You're going to hear this legal term thrown around, prima facie evidence. Don't let it intimidate you. All it means is that right out of the gate, the courts and banks assume your C of O is the real deal. The burden of proof isn't on you to prove you own it. It's on someone else to prove you don't. That's a huge advantage.
And having that legal weight isn't just an abstract idea. It's a financial key. It unlocks the doors to everything. You want a bank loan? They're going to want to see the C of O. You want to boost your property's value? A C of O does that. It just makes everything smoother, from getting building permits to selling the property later on. And honestly, it's your best defense against messy ownership disputes.
Now this all sounds great, right? But hang on. This is where we have to get really serious, because this is where a lot of investors get burned. Just because someone hands you a piece of paper that says Certificate of Occupancy doesn't mean you're in the clear. Not at all. There are hidden risks you absolutely have to look out for.
This checklist right here, this is not optional. This is your homework, and you have to ace it. You have to physically go to the State Land Registry to verify the document is authentic. You need to check for other claims on the property, like an existing mortgage, and you absolutely must hire a surveyor to confirm that the piece of land described in the paperwork is the same one you're actually standing on. Never just take someone's word for it.
And here is another massive, massive trap. Let's say you're buying a property from someone who already has a C of O. Just paying them and shaking hands is not enough, not even close. For that transfer to be legally binding, it must have the official consent of the state governor.
This is what's known as perfecting your title, and you have to do it right. First, you and the seller sign a legal document called a deed of assignment. Then you get that all-important governor's consent. And finally, you register your new title. If you miss any of these steps, your entire investment is floating in legal limbo.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Let's pull it all together into a simple, straightforward, 5-step playbook that you can use to protect yourself every single time you're dealing with a CFO.
Seriously, just follow these 5 steps. Always verify.
Always hire professionals. This is not a DIY project. Comply with the rules, perfect the transaction all the way to the end, and then guard that original document with your life. This is how you build a solid foundation for your investment to grow.
So in the end, what is the C of O? Is it just a key that automatically unlocks security and value? Or is it something more? Is it a test of your diligence as an investor? I think it's the latter. It is an incredibly powerful tool for sure, but its real value is only unlocked through your own hard work and thoroughness. How you approach it says everything about the kind of investor you are.